by asking you, because I am a salsa dancer, and I loved all of the dancing in the movie. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you went through to train for this movie?
It was I trained for seven hours a day, every day, for 7 months to become a dancer, and it was. I think, you know, my relationship with dancing is so complex that if someone had said to me, "You're going to have to do this," I would have probably tried to kill myself. Until I then had the idea to do it and thought, yeah, you should do this, you know. But like an hour into the training process, bear in mind I think I worked out I did like 1,700 hours. An hour in I thought, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
But what do you mean your relationship with dance is complex?
Because I like it. I like dancing a lot, but I'm afraid of it. There's a funny thing that happens to a big man who can dance. You know, often I'll catch, you know, a thinner dancer looking at me, and it's a look. I wouldn't say it pities me, but there's a look. I've kind of narrowed it down. It's a look that you might give a child who overcame a terrible disease, and the child went on to complete a half marathon. And the look also has a noise that goes with it, and I'm going to do it for you now. It's this. Somehow I'm kind of rallying against all odds to get up and dance. You know, it's. I kind of hated that, and it didn't go so well. I didn't want to dance at my wedding with my wife. You know, that awful thing.
And did you?
We did. We stood opposite one another, which is the kind of basis of it. But then the dancing, we kind of just did this.
Right. Okay. Like you're in middle school.
For a bit, and then I turned my back on my family, and then like all my aunties came over, and it happened. Yeah. And then everyone started to dance. But
so I
said to someone earlier, I think I'd rather have kind of made love in front of everyone that danced. I weirdly felt more comfortable doing that. There is still, when I get remarried.
So are you any more comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's that, you know, there's a kind of salsa adage, which is dance like no one's watching. And that's kind of, you know, it's easier said than done. I like to dance, you know, I'm one of the first up at weddings. But again, it's that thing with my culture. You only dance when you've drunk 12 pints of Stella Artois, and then at that point you kind of can't dance. You know, but I do like it. I do like to dance.
And part of your training, we actually talked to Nick this morning on the station, and you said that you actually went into the salsa clubs.
Yeah.
That was part of the training.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of social dancing where nothing is choreographed. How did you do with that?
Fine, you know, I mean, the first time I went, I kind of didn't dance, and I drank too much. And then I looked around and I thought, no one else is really drinking. A few people are doing shots, but, you know, they kind of have the right idea in terms of, you know, you don't dance, and you don't drink, rather, and it means that you get to dance with 20 beautiful women, and that's kind of in of itself a reward, you know.
Right.
That's not how it is where I'm from, you know. You only dance toward the end when you think, must mate, need woman, you will, and then you dance at them.
Right.
Hoping that somehow they'll find that erotic enough to want to offer to walk you home, you know.
I like that, dance at them.
Move.
Yeah, that's happened.
Grabbing at them like a chimp grabbing at a piece of gatto.
Well, speaking of that, did you learn any of the dance etiquette?
Yeah, you know, a lot, the girls would talk to me privately, and the guys would tell me how to, you know, I think it was quite telling that the girls would say that if a guy is kind of sleazy, or if he doesn't use his lead strong enough to show what the girl has off, then they're kind of shunned by the girls, which I think is kind of amazing.
Yeah, because your job is to show the girls off.
Yeah, even though you get to lead and pretend that you're the boss.
Yeah.
Your job is to show off, you know, your lady.
Exactly. And you did that backflip, right?
I did one of them, yeah. I got terribly injured, and so I didn't do any more. But that move where I lift Chris O'Dowd above my head, and it always gets a laugh, which is amazing. But we did that, but he was on wires. But there was a point when they let him go a bit soon, and I ended up pulling all the muscles in my neck and back, and so I had to have like a day off, and as a result, couldn't do the flips off the car, which I I had practice, so I could.
And you do have.
You're on wires. I didn't just flip it off the car. Like Sammo Hung.
But you do get sore, right? Like all that. It's a workout.
Yeah, I mean, they treated me like a racehorse. So, like, someone would turn up at 10 a.m. and give me a roast chicken, and I'd have to eat that, and then I could eat like an 80-ounce steak at noon, and you know, a lot of protein shakes, and I had like a physio who would tape me up every morning like a boxer. She'd tape my feet up, and I couldn't feel my toes for 6 months after we rapped. And apparently that's a thing that happens to dancers. You just kind of, your toes get so mashed up that they just stop working.
It helps you, then you don't feel the pain later on.
Sometimes I like to feel the pain.
Lets you know you're alive.
Yeah. Exactly.
You worked with an amazing cast. Anything, just give us something about any one of them. I mean, all of them were great, hilarious.
Okay, the first time I met Rashida once, and we hung out for about 5 hours, and it was amazing. And then the next day I said, hey, why don't we go and have dinner? I'll pick you up and we'll go and have dinner. She said, yeah, all right. She said, be outside the hotel at 7:30. And so I waited outside for 7:30, and I'm a very prompt person, you know, and so it was like 7:45, and then it was 8, and then it was 8:10. I'm thinking, is this a Hollywood thing, or? And then I got a text from Rashida that said, hey, can you come up to my room? I really need to see you. And I had a weird tingle in my tummy. I was thinking, this could be it, you know. I could just about to be making out Quincy Jones's daughter. It could help finance the film in the long run. And I went up and I was kind of a bit nervous, and I knocked on the door, and I could hear a noise, and she opened the door, and she'd got her hairbrush caught in her hair, and she couldn't get it out. And so we spent an hour
Getting her hairbrush?
getting her hairbrush out before we had to go and have dinner. And I think once you start a relationship on that basis, it's a really strong foundation going forward. You know that comedically it's gonna kind of work, you know. Well, I love the fact that she kind of sat around for 40 minutes thinking, do I text him? Shall I? So at what point do you abandon all hope and think, I'm going to get a guy that I've met once to come up and untangle my brush?
That's great.
Which is not a euphemism.
All right, so should we let the audience
Yeah,
ask some
absolutely.
questions
Yeah.
about the movie? Just raise your hand, and I'll point to you, and we'll do...
Just about the movie, I'm great at geography.
Trivia questions, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we'll just do it. Okay, right here. The black hat.
Good, how are you? Oh, her name is Janet Fuentes, and she's a lady from Havana, and she's been dancing since she was a kid, and she got to a point in her life where, because she was an amazing dancer, they let her leave Cuba to dance, and I think she never went back. But she does a lot of work with Shakira, so she's like one of Shakira's backing girls, and she is amazing to dance with, you know. And I don't know if I should say this. She does this. No, I won't say it. It's fine.
Go ahead, you can say it.
Well, she does this thing. Oh no, I can't. But now I'm committed to it. But she does this move with her bottom, and it's so compelling to watch. Do you remember the Jungle Book when that snake did the thing with its eyes? And you couldn't not look at it, and it was amazing.
I have to tell you, the part in the movie when she does the split between your legs,
Yeah.
I was actually at a salsa